So you were born at a specific time, at a specific place, to a specific family, possibly with a specific set of abilities. Do you actually believe that? Do you want to believe that? And do you want your inborn abilities to define what you do in life and what you can achieve? I'm going to answer this question for you in this video, and I'm going to give you a framework to understand this. This framework is called the growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. I'm Tatiana Denis. I'm here to teach you how to draw using the cute and simple style called kawaii, and how to start a creative business using your newfound skills. If you ever wanted to open an Etsy shop with cute products, or maybe you just want to get really good at drawing, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of all the new videos I create. And before we jump in, I want to tell you that I'm teaching a free masterclass this week. You can apply what you're learning here to designing your own characters. It's totally free. You, go to tatianadenis.com/masterclass to sign up. So what is exactly fixed mindset versus growth mindset? Let's understand each of these mindsets in detail. So as you would guess, fixed mindset is the idea that you are born with a specific set of skills and abilities, and no matter what you do, you cannot get there. You cannot improve. This is that idea of talent or being gifted. If you've been following me for any amount of time, you would have heard me talk about the idea of how to get past this thinking. Okay, I'm already giving you a clue. So let's look at the growth mindset. So the growth mindset is the idea that with practice, you can improve your skills, that you are not limited by your natural abilities. In fact, natural abilities is a starting point. And yes, we are different in our natural abilities. There is no denying it. There is your genetics. If you're into astrology, there is your planetary alignment and personality type, and all these things exist. And then there is the type of childhood you had, the type of family you grew up in. That all definitely is valid, and it affects who you are right now. But here's the thing. You don't have to stay where you are. You can grow into what you want to become. And where you are now does not mean that's where you always will be. If you study, if you practice, and if you do deliberate practice, then I promise you that you can get better than you ever thought was possible. This idea of fixed mindset versus growth mindset is not my own. I didn't come up with it. I'm here to share it with you as a tool. It was actually documented by Carol Dweck, who is a researcher from Stanford University. And she wrote a book called Mindset: The New Psychology for Success. So let's use what we learn for our success. So why does this matter? Why do we need to know this? And why do we need to care about this mindset stuff? So if you subscribe to the fixed mindset philosophy, you have no hope. You have no way to improve. And most importantly, you are giving away your human creative power to something that is completely outside of your control. From personal experience, and this is just my personal experience, it's simply not true. But let's talk about how to actually apply the reverse, growth mindset, into achieving what you want, in this case, learning how to draw really well and how to take yourself to the next level. When you adopt the mindset of growth, you give the power back to yourself. You have a roadmap of how to get to where you dream to be. We all have dreams, right? And if you're watching this, I imagine that you want to be more creative, you want to do more meaningful work in your life, and possibly you want to transition into art as your career. Even if that feels like totally impossible right now, just bear with me. If you have that ambition, you are, I'm speaking to you right now. So if you adopt the growth mindset, you know that when you follow a step-by-step approach and you practice deliberately, then you will be able to achieve your dreams. And this gives you motivation to show up and do the work. So which of these mindsets do you find yourself leaning into more often? And it's not right or wrong. It's no judgment here. We just want to observe and be aware of where we are right now. Let me know in the comments. I challenge you, which of these mindsets do you currently lean into? And remember, you can always choose. You can choose to change. So how do we actually apply this idea, this concept, to getting better at drawing? This is what we're here for, right? So I'll give you 4 practical ways to actually apply to drawing. So number 1, when you sit down to draw, remember that it's about the journey and not the result. Every single session that you do matters. Every single time you sit down to draw, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you are getting better. Number 2, because it's about the process and not the result, this gives you ability to take off the creative pressure of coming up with a perfect drawing every time. It doesn't even need to be share-worthy. You are showing up for your practice, you're gonna grow into the artist that you are. Number 3, focus on learning rather than seeking approval from family and social media. When you finish your drawing, it's tempting to think, okay, I'm gonna share it, I'm gonna show it to my friend and they're gonna love it. What if they don't? It doesn't matter. That's the point. You're there to do the practice. After every drawing session, the first thing, say to yourself, what have I learned here today? And then if you feel strong, show it to somebody. And it doesn't matter what they say. Do they say it's great or do they say, it really doesn't matter because you did your work. And number 4 is my favorite. So when you see somebody else's work that is so amazing, that feels you could never get there, growth mindset actually allows you to say, I will get there. I know I can. You see what a different energy that it is? And yes, you can, my friend. So now you understand the difference between the fixed mindset and growth mindset. And most importantly, you can choose which one you're gonna lean into and how it's gonna affect your drawing results. Now, one more time, I'm teaching a free character design masterclass this week. Sign up for your spot at tatianadenis.com/masterclass, and I will see you there.